вечер на сите, добродојдовте на предавањето, односно повеќе еден вид на перформанс на работа на Дилејн Ле Бас, која е една од уметниците кои денеска е доста представувана и доста активно ја представува темата на ромската култура. Како што гледаме, таа е и една од уметниците представени на овогодишната едиција на Се што ни е заедничко. И таа во последните години е често изложува на познати изложби како например Венецијската биенале во 2007 на првиот ромски павилјон и подоцна на слични биенале во Прага и Бању. Таа ни доаѓа под покровителство на британската амбасада, за која сакаме да благодариме за соработката и се надева дека пак ќе дојде во Македонија за интересирање за локалната сцена со ромската малцинство во Македонија. Денеска ќе одржи еден перформанс каде што ќе има и интеракција со публиката, ќе донаѓе поклони нејзини уметнички дела на кои се денеска за не знам кој, мислам колку сме денеска и кој добие тоа, но се надам дека ќе биде интересно и ќе научиме нешто. So in English, I'll give a brief introduction also for the ones who are from abroad. We are now glad to have artist Dileјn Le Bass, who is one of the most eminent artists who's working on the theme of the Roma culture around Europe, and she presented her works at the most important exhibitions like Venice Biennale in 2007 and later in Prague Biennale and Bangkok. And of course she's one of the artists of the exhibition which is now is also part of Manifesta, like we have it coming. So, and she will do performance when she will interact with the public, and she brought gifts that or artworks that she wants to share with the audience tonight.
Thank you for coming. Unfortunately, I only have 14 of these to give out. So I think I will just allow you to come forward and just take one. The idea is actually it's a text. And what I do like is active participants. So as I'm reading, you might read it to yourself, you might find a line that you like, you can follow along with me. But I do sort of like some sort of active participation that we will be moving around the space as well, okay? So if everyone could maybe come just a little bit closer, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to give, could you hand it around? So just randomly, if you think you want to, then please do ask for one.
Of course, everybody. I know who wants to participate actively. I know them already.
On this side as well.
Who wants it? Откачи готов.
Tales from the House of the Bar, the 1st to the 2nd, 23. Delaine, a script of sorts across the paper, capital D, capital I, capital L, capital A, capital I, capital N. Delaine, another language, capital D, capital I, capital L, capital A, capital I, capital N. Different words to say her name. It had begun a rebirth. The Bori Churiklo had carried her to a land of snow-capped mountains. Faded by the winter, they moved with the air. Huge lions guarded the bridge, combed concrete containing half-circular windows. Paint peeling, circles within circles, curved, cut. For you to sit within, futuristic, yet based in something past. Maybe something you want to forget. Time zones. Who knows what histories we are not supposed to remember? Blowing in the wind was a yellow circle and raised on red. One smaller, one large. She walked to a white square with a white circle, giant horse with a hero. Which hero? Are some heroes more allowed than others? Half horsage emerging from the ground, ancient monuments with celebrities' faces. They are amongst us in real time, but were they always there in other times? Were Antony and Cleopatra, the Brad and Angelina of their own time? Who were the historical Kardashians? Plastic facades, faces and bodies filled with it, created by it, and paid for with it. She slept upon the unicorn, paint splinters entering her dreams. A baroque pearl almost lost among the white, enveloping her, caressing her. She had arrived on the date of his birth, the 30th of the 1st, 63. The 30th of the 1st, 1963. 3019603. It was 30th of the 1st, 23. 3001223. The 30th of the 1st, 2023. He would have been 60. 60. There was something in numbers. She felt this. She knew this. His memory was always with her. His presence felt. At times she could almost smell him. Like the image in his work, he travelled across the boundaries and borders, a spectre of times past, of times future. His body and face filling continents, crossing the man-made fault lines that changed whenever it suited them. The white line held the red and yellow. From where she sat, it flowed westward. If she was the other side, it would be east. East and west was always a matter of where you were standing. Always a matter of how you felt, non-toxic. But were the people tight? Not tight together. That would be solidarity. Too busy not to recognise how we cross over. How we are all flesh and blood. How we are not water resistant on the outside. That water, when external, is not our element. And that internally, we cannot survive without it. I watched, I saw, I heard. Will somebody please give me a drink of water? She had cried for days. I still cry now, the words echoing in my head. Day and night, night and day, but not romantic like cold water. It was not 1932. In the United States of America in 1932, unemployment reached 24%, with many living in cars and shantytowns. And when it was happening, Was it really happening? And if you don't believe me, check it out in the People's History. 1932, 2022, 2022. In 2022, in South Africa, the unemployment rate was 32.5%. It's not 1932, it's now 2023. And when it's happening, is it really happening? And what has happened in between? In between the cracks of his story, her story, history, in brackets, to quote Carol Lee, in all the places you're not supposed to see. They disappear under grey like they never existed. Outlines like ghosts. What are they saying? What do they have to tell us? The mulad, the dead. Maybe we should listen. I sat. The dogs stared. I passed them. They did not move. They did not bark. They were silent. Maybe they weren't really there. Maybe, like us, they hadn't been seen. Maybe at times we are all invisible. Maybe, though, some of us are more invisible than others. Down where the spirit meets the bone, to quote Nina. Down where the spirit meets the bone, to quote Nina. Made up and undressed, skin and hair next to fabric, pink, bags and luggage, a kiss. Rubbish, rubbish, I've said this before, too many times. Rescued or captive, Nino like Andre trying to release us from his story, her story, his story, in brackets, quote, Carol Lee. Realities or fantasies, and who sees their tears? Silhouettes of control, luminous waistcoats, denoting who is in charge. Coca-Cola and Disney have so much in common. Disneyfication, a sugar-coated poison. And Barbie's pink, next to buttons printed and real, while children play. And across the wall is written Negro Yugoslavia, spelt with a J. And spell check tries to correct me again and again. While Andre works against folkloricism and stereotypes. Dervish like these whose picky house and apple consuming us, like Sleeping Beauty taking a bite from what is poison, destroying us, distracting us, destroying us. Many of us everywhere. There are no border controls for this menace, physical or virtual. And the Universal Declaration of Human Rights hangs like a tired cloth. It was created to protect you, me, us, but who knows it? Who cares? Balenciaga, Gucci, Adidas, Mercedes, Rolex. The list is long. These are known, remembered, admired, cheap trinkets of deceit that distract and divide and conquer. From Ziad, who are we muddy? Who is legitimate? Who makes the decisions for who? And hypocrisy and fear still reign, and fear is control, and the hypocrites win. And Choya told us, I'm afraid that Europe is forgetting its past and that Auschwitz is only sleeping. And Choya told us, I'm afraid that Europe is forgetting its past and that Auschwitz is only sleeping. We need to hear her words. And when we are listening, are we really hearing? And Drama Jam Session Art Collective are art hacking and trying to make sense. And together we create resistance and resilience out of necessity, the mother of all invention. While Robert and Gold Sugar creates a material for collective imagination, possibilities run wild in imaginary scenarios. And what can collective imagination look like? And Dervish's portrait of a grown man looks wanted nothing about us without us. And I ask, when it's happening, is it really happening? One, or 101. I will sing again the numbers. There is something in numbers. I know it. I feel it. Dan plants seeds for change, while rigid vinyl, Vogue illustrated chateau, rigid vinyl cladding, cures and healing are contained. But can they survive from the toxicity that is all around them? Historically, currently, futuristically. And Sierre's techno-cares float in the air like dreams and whispers of home, sweet home. Like dreams and whispers of home, sweet home. Like dreams and whispers of home, sweet home. Isn't it what we all want? What we all dream of? Are some dreams more important than others? Are some dreams more important than others? And the shanty towns of the sleeping beauties and the sleeping demons continue to be constructed. I cried, I still cry, while Amelia's out of the deadlock eye takes a step towards reclaiming agency in a world where is this only allowed for some? And maybe we need to think about kismet, fate, destiny, what is meant to be. Deciphering words, the politics of words, the control of language, the understanding of language, and who is in control of linguistic engineering. It surrounds us. It can make us silent. Deciphering invisibility, because it is a special issue. Because I know when you say to me, we didn't see you, it was a choice. Because I am here. I am visible. I have a voice. And I will be seen and heard. And I am not alone. We are not alone. We are together. And this is all we have in common.
Jagate
I got in touch with Vidéo, who'd organised for us when we went to Rajasthan to meet them, so that Raju could be included in the film and the soundtrack. So, yeah. So that's where and it was recorded in Rajasthan. So it has its good points as well as me not liking it that much. The virtual world also has its positive outcomes sometimes as well.
And the language is? The language in which it's seen?
It'd be Hindi. Yeah. And she's basically seeing what's happening, is it really happening? They're saying things like I'm saying basically. It's just repeating the same thing. And it's even though you can hear all those other voices, basically it's just one of those Apple programs, so it is my voice, it's just been put in this. So it sounds like it's a different sorts of radio voices as well.
Is it connected with the history of the Roma that have their origin in that area?
It's to do with that, but it's also because I created this character, which is St. Sarah Carly George. So St. Sarah Carly George is a fusion of St. George, Carly and St. Sarah from the south of France. So it's this mixture because also St. George is seen as in England as this very sort of nationalistic type character. So what I'm often trying to do with the work is like bring the other aspects or the other histories to characters to the surface, and then I've sort of created this, and she's a bit like an eco-Roo as well, really. So she's a combination of things, really, in that sense. And I made the films because originally for Berlin Wedding it was going to be much more of a interactive, performative piece, and the costumes were not just for me; they were for other people to wear as well. But obviously, because of COVID, that wasn't possible. So. We made the films, and there's an animated film as well that we made as well. So we did a number of other things instead, but it meant that we could also we worked across borders and boundaries by working virtually.
Arrived to her there in Rajasthan, or she also had performed in the UK?
With Raju, I worked with Raju in Europe, actually, in Berlin, and we worked together in Rajasthan, and then we worked together in Germany. So yeah.
Did you have any time to visit our Roma community here in Skopje?
No, I arrived on Monday and I had to get a really early flight Monday morning and it was delayed, and then I've just been working on doing the performance, but I really want to come back because I feel like I've only just got here and I have to leave early on Friday morning, so I'm not really here for enough time to really spend a proper amount of time as I would like to if I was going to do anything, because I think it's really important to spend proper time with people rather than just dipping in and then just disappearing like some sort of mirage. So, but I'm hopeful to come back. That's what I would really like to do.
We have a high school here in Shuka, which is mostly of Roma children. So if you would like to come and visit us, it would really be appreciated of you.
I would love to do that. So I'm really hopeful to come back.
We have a couple of teachers here from Shaykh Yusuf. So.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll exchange details and stuff and things, and then we can keep in contact, okay? Because I really want to come back. I just feel like I haven't been here. I'm not here for long enough time to really spend as much time properly as I would like to with people, because I think it's really important to do that. So this is my first contact, and hopefully do things from here, which would be good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you know the Hindi language and the Roma language are very similar?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
some of the
okay.
words, because some of the words, obviously, there's some basic words that when you go to India, you can speak with people, the same as we can when we're all together, but obviously because of the dialects and the language and the travel, the language is sort of mixed up in some places, but there are some words that I think we all recognise. So yeah, I think it's very important that we speak about the language as well because of that. And I do try in the performances to put at least some words or some phrases in, because I think it's important that people recognise the language as well. And as you can see here, things have been translated into 3 languages, and that's really important that more of that happens in the exhibitions and stuff and things.
What inspired you to work on the Declaration for Human Rights? Your artwork is very, has a really strong and powerful message, especially with Mickey Mouse as part of it. What inspired you to work on this art piece?
Because the Declaration of Human Rights came about because of what happened in the Second World War. And it's many people, if you go on the website, many people have taken a lot of time out to make sure that it's translated into as many languages as possible so everyone understands it. It's supposed to be in every school, so every child knows what it is. But it seems we're more concerned about, I use Mickey Mouse, but it could be Gucci, or it could be Balenciaga, or it could be Rolex, or it could be Mercedes. And it's much more important to know things like the Declaration of Human Rights than it is what a logo is really. So I use Mickey Mouse because I did it some time back, just as a way of getting that across really, because I just feel like it's something that is sort of slightly disregarded in many ways. And I did a project once with somebody where I had to learn one of the declarations, and it's when you have to sort of learn the whole, like you learn 1 or 2 sentences out of it, it resonates really in your head once you've done that as well. So yeah, I think it's a very important document that sort of doesn't really have the place that it should do really, in many ways. So yeah, so that's fine.
Thank you.
I have a question about the embassy. You say so. Yes. What represents that your body's embassy, or what's represent that?
It's obviously there isn't a Roman embassy. It doesn't exist, and I was spending some time researching, and it came about from I don't know if anyone knows about the Aboriginal embassy that was created in the 1970s for Aboriginal rights in Australia, and so I decided to just make a sign, and I've usually got a sign on a piece of paper with it on, and at every opportunity, especially if I'm somewhere near politicians, I put it on and have my photograph taken, because it's this idea that there are so many people in the world that have nowhere to go to. There's no one to help them. There's nowhere for them to go. And it's something, again, it's going back to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, really. I mean, everyone's entitled to some sort of help, and it just doesn't seem to exist. So yeah, so that's how that came about. So it's like, when we did the Roma Biennial, this was available on the website, so people actually printed it off and went outside embassies and went all over the place and did photographs of themselves, and then they were posted on the website as well. So it's sort of something anyone can do, really. It's not mine as such, if you know what I mean, but I've always got a little sign somewhere that I'm carrying around with me. So you can embody it yourself, really, in a sense, and sort of try and use some sort of empower something really anyway. I suppose that's what I'm trying to do with it really. So yeah, so that's how that came about. And it's just a cardboard sign. So you can make it, or if you've got a piece of paper in your pocket, you can just do it. So yeah, so that's what I do. I did one earlier today when we were out and about. So yeah. But it's on the internet. If you put it in from the embassy and you put my name in there, we've got a small website thing that's got all the information about it and where it came from, and also some of the actions we've done with it, so it's possible to see it online.
Any more questions? Or we can move? Well, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you everyone. Thank you for coming.
Maybe